This is off YouTube, COVID-19, Bill Gates, and the UK vaccine network scandal. And listen up. I'll put this down below. This pretty much lays it all out. And it's time to...
names, but just to give you an idea, there's 34 members, and they have all received funding from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, bar two. And those people essentially are part of the Defence and Science Technology Lab, which is like the America's DARPA Institute, and they report directly to Sir Patrick Vallance. So let me just explain then. Bill Gates and GlaxoSmithKline have a business relationship worth about £1 billion. That's really important to understand. Just to show you how close their relationship is, they've worked on projects in India, where they're actually under investigation for harming people with the vaccine program that they did there. And the Emma Walmsley, who is the CEO of GlaxoSmithKline, also sits on the board of Microsoft. And that's really important to know. And apparently she sits next to Bill Gates on the board. So that means something as well. Sir Patrick Vallance, who's the Chief Scientific Advisor up until 2018, was President of Research and Development at GlaxoSmithKline. And then he was kind of implanted into the government as Chief Scientific Advisor. We know that Chris Whitty is about to become on the executive board of the World Health Organization, which again is funded by Bill Gates. So you can see that GlaxoSmithKline and the Bill Gates Foundation are linked inextricably by about £1 billion worth of investment. Already, Bill Gates has the coronavirus test, the COVID-19 test, from a company called MoLogic, which his foundation has started and operates and funds. That's really important. Boris Johnson visited it on the 6th of March this year, just before he became ill and disappeared from public view. And MoLogic is developing the home test kit now, which obviously, as we've heard from Chris Whitty and Sir Patrick Vallance, they want the whole country to be tested. And just to give you some idea of the figures here, the test is going to be sold for around about £225 per test. Okay, so to this company and to Bill Gates, that is worth 14 billion pounds.
Did you get that? Just for UK to test everybody at $200 a pop over there, it's like $300. I don't know what a pound is nowadays, but it's 14 billion. That's a B. Just for England.
Just on the UK alone. Right? I think that's important to understand. We're not talking about Europe, where there's 450 million people. Just imagine that, his test going out to all of those people. So the reason that you haven't got a test yet is because they're waiting for MoLogic to release it, for Bill Gates to release it to everybody.
I just wonder, is Bill going to spread the money out to big oil, the car rental agencies, all the travel, all the people that lost money on their mortgages? Let's see, who do we have? Big oil, airlines, car rental agencies, all the hotels that are shut down, all the food processing plants that are shut down. Hey, where are you people in buying your politicians to do something about this? Or are you going to let these rat-faced pieces of shit keep on doing what they're doing with their bioweapons labs? It's not that difficult, folks.
And it's his company. It was funded by him. He has produced this test. Okay. And so we're going to look down the list of these people and to see the links between the Bill Gates Foundation and the so-called UK vaccine network, which is supposed to be independent, which is supposed to be impartial. But sadly, as I have learnt, it is far from that. So the first name on the list, bear with me, and I hope you don't find this boring, but I think it is important to go through each name and to say how much they've got. Now, some of them we don't have a figure because it's not...
Yeah, if you find this boring, here's the thing. This thing came out of a lab, and it was special made stack virus. It has HIV, has SARS, has rabies, has all types of good stuff. And you can go on Zero Hedge, I'll copy that. All types of wacky things coming out of this. So, this is, I don't know, if you're sitting at home And then maybe next week you don't need to go back to work. And next week don't have to go back to work. That's fine, sheeple. Stupid sheeple. Hey, 17 intelligence agencies, you dumb fucks. Hey, William Barr, where the fuck you at? You piece of shit. You're all compromised. You're all third generation, inbred fucks that have been around the U.S. government. Just taking, sitting doing your jobs. 34 trillion in debt.
Public knowledge, but we know they've received funding because that is public knowledge. And it's in, this is a great deal of money we're talking about. So the first name on the list is Adrian Hill. He received 10 million. He was actually a Bill Gates dissenter to begin with. He had a project with a vaccine called R21. And he complained about Bill Gates and what have you, and then suddenly he gets 10 million. He gets £10 million for his fund. Andrew Pollard got 36.9 million. Brian Charleston, he's the director of Pirbright Institute. They have multiple grants. They're in bed together. They have multiple fundings, hundreds of millions.
Pirbright's been around since the age of the germ warfare. Probably Pirbright made the anthrax that idiot drunk who was a British Churchill. He wanted to drop on Germany 1 million vials of anthrax. In Germany still would have, like all of Europe, would have been unlivable. But Pirbright, that one ought to be wiped off the map. These people are like mass murderers, and all you idiots, you're just sitting around watching TV, getting programmed every day.
The last one was about $5.5 million. Cherry Lynn Adams, BBSRC, she got 4.4 million from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Charlie Weller, funded by Bill Gates. He's actually funded by Bill Gates. All his work's funded by Bill Gates. Charlotte Watts from the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine. We know that Chris Whitty got 31 million, but Charlotte is obviously very special. She trumps Chris with a whopping 59 million pounds.
All this stuff's ran out of England. It's just like watching a James Bond movie. Okay, you got these rich, the British East Indies Company. It goes back hundreds of years, and these are your rulers. These are your plantation owners. You little freaking idiot slaves. You know why Bill's over in Britain? Okay, Britain. They're all part of the 9/11 crew. They started the World War II. All World War II was to steal patents. If you got a patent today, they're going to steal it if it's worth anything. You can't, these people, they suck the life out of all technology. They control it. They're the ones putting up the 5G towers. You gotta wake up and start doing a little research. It's all out there. You gotta find the right people. This guy, he knows his shit. Like you listen to him, he has his shit down. Not like all these other George Webb fucking fuckasses and these freaking morons that you go listen to and you go give fucking money to. If you're gonna give money to this guy who's out there fucking digging the right shit. And when you hear the right shit, it makes sense. Not like idiot George Webb and all these other idiots that talk around in circles.
Directly to her project. 59 million to her project. Chris Whitty, we know from the Chief Medical Officer, he got 31 million, and he also is about to become on the board of the World Health Organization, which is also funded by Bill Gates. Christian Schneider from the MHRA, which is the regulator for medicines and medical devices in this country, is funded by Bill Gates. Ellen Riley from the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, she got 50 million from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Fiona Tomley, she's Pirbright Institute. They have multiple funding, multiple grants.
More Pirbright.
Gary Entrison, a Pirbright Institute, so again, multiple funding, multiple grants.
Pilgrim Society.
Who was the CEO of the MHRA, has then left to become Bill Gates' senior advisor for regulations, to go through the regulatory system of the MHRA. He's on the board, and he's paid directly by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Jean Lang co-leads the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation Vaccine Discovery Team, and obviously that's funded by them. Jeffrey Ullman, senior advisor to the World Health Organization and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Joanne Pryor, she's the Defense Science and Technical Lab, and she has nothing to do with Bill Gates. She's not funded by Bill Gates. She's funded by the government. It's and she does all the secret work, you know. But her boss, who she reports to, is Sir Patrick Vallance of GlaxoSmithKline, and who is now Chief Scientific Advisor to our government. So you can see the links here. It's just two companies, GlaxoSmithKline and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Johan van Hoof received funding. John Edmonds received funding from Bill Gates.
This guy's laying out the bio-warfare mafia. That's it. And it's financed with the American $10 billion a year through England, all started after 9/11. And like nobody's hitting this. Aim for Truth is hitting it. They're not putting together like the full pieces. They go back in the history, and you can, when you listen to the stuff, you can start putting the pieces together. And these people, these are RCA. They stole all of Tesla's patents. They run the patent department of America, ran through a British company. All they do is steal. They're hooked up, just like Bill Gates. He's hooked up with Epstein, all that crap. You probably got, I'd say maybe 1,000 people that need to be arrested. And the big oil, the big hotels, I don't know. You guys can keep parking your fucking planes and go lose all your stock options, all of that, lose everything. Like I just go down, there's a list, like all these food billionaire boys and everything. You're going to be losing your stock yards, all of that. I don't know. Just continue. Allow these fucking morons to do what they're doing.
Jonathan Pierce is the Medical Research Council, multiple grants, and works with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation on a regular basis, if you can believe that. Julian Bonagera is part of the MHRA, the regulator in this country, receives funding and grants. Manesh Kumar is funded by the foundation, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and is part of the World Health Organization. Massimo Pamelarini, beg your pardon, sorry about that, got a £3 million grant from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Mike Francis. Now, Mike Francis was quite hard to find. His actual name is Michael Francis. And, just to give you some idea, a lot of these people are really hard to find. They've not put doctor, they've not put professor, they've not put where they come from, where they work. And I think that if you want to be transparent, you would do that quite easily. Dr.